Hi, folks. Welcome to episode 161 of the Wealth on Any Income podcast. This is where we talk about money, tips, techniques, attitudes, information, and provide inspiration around your business and your money. I'm your host, Rennie Gabriel. In past episodes, we spoke about how to understand the numbers from your business, how to measure the level of pleasure based on where you spend your money, how to track your money in 5 to 10 seconds, what determines how close you are to complete financial choice, and how to run your business without being in your business. Last time, we had Anna Grady, who co-founded and scaled an educational technology company into a multi-million-dollar business. Today, we have as our guest, Leisa Reid. Leisa is a speaker who has booked and delivered over 600 talks and can train you on how to get booked and stay booked as a speaker. Leisa is the founder of Get Speaking Gigs Now and the CEO of the International Speaker Network. She's passionate about teaching you how to get your talk ready to rock so that you can get on stage quickly and confidently. On our show today, she'll share the number one secret she uses to get speaking gigs, and I look forward to that. Leisa, welcome to the Wealth on Any Income podcast.
I'm excited to be here.
Terrific. Well, let's get right to it with some questions. Okay, you train people how to be public speakers, but tell me more, like, why would this be a fit for business owners and why do you do this?
Well, it's not a fit for everyone. I'll start there. So anyone who's terrified of speaking, relax, don't worry, you don't have to do anything. But there is a lot of us, a lot of entrepreneurs who really, really feel called to speak. They've seen someone up there speak. Maybe they got a chance to speak and they think, I should be up there. I should be the one giving that talk. I have a lot of really valuable information to share. And it's a deep calling often within our soul that's like, I need to do this. And I hear these kind of stories all the time. So that's how I know. And I'm one of those people as well. So for those of us who are in an entrepreneurial space or wanting to attract our clients, needing to do that sales and marketing thing, speaking is a really fulfilling way. I call it soul fulfilling way to market and do sales, because you attract your ideal clients through getting to educate and teach and help change people's lives.
That makes so much sense for an entrepreneur to be able to build their business. One of the things that I remember, because you're talking about, entrepreneurs and speaking, and it doesn't have to be on stage, but sometimes the CEO is stuck doing that. And I remember decades ago going to a presentation for investors and hearing Charles Schwab speak to a group of there must have been 2,000 to 3,000 people in the audience.
Wow.
It was the worst. I mean, he was so uncomfortable. He made me uncomfortable.
I've been in a similar situation where I was speaking for a certain event, and I'll leave it all confidential, but the owner of lots and lots of properties and industry was speaking, and it was one of the most painful talks I ever saw. It was the tiniest font, all thrown up on the PowerPoint slide. He was going to go through every single thing. Oh my gosh, it was a nightmare.
But yeah, it's called death by PowerPoint.
Yes.
Well, most of my listeners know, and anyone associated with me, is that I donate 100% of the profits from the work I do supporting other people to handle money powerfully. I donate to various animal and veteran charities. Tell me about a particular charity that you support.
Yeah, I support the Pachamama Alliance, and I had the pleasure of seeing Lynn Twist speak at an event, and she's a famous philanthropist herself and teaches people how to philanthropy. And she got me. I was like, okay, I'll do whatever you say. And she supports Pachamama Alliance, which helps with the Amazon rainforest, which is one of our lifelines for the whole world. Like, we need to fix this so that we can all be okay. And I thought, well, that's pretty good. So
thank you. And thank you for supporting something that has the potential to save the planet if we all work together on it.
Yes.
Now, I got the idea it's entrepreneurs, but do you have a specific target market?
For me, yes. A lot of coaches, consultants, and service-based business owners or professionals are usually my clients, typically in the entrepreneurial space. I do work with a lot of women. However, I have incredible male clients as well. It's not just limited to women. It's really that, like I was saying before, Rennie, that person who feels called, like they're just like, I know I should be doing this. And typically that's someone who's got a purpose in mind. Like they're not just speaking for dollars, they're speaking because they know that the information they have can be helpful for other people. They can help solve problems for people. They can make people's lives easier. And it's just this thing that's like, I have to do this. Like I gotta like really make an impact in the world. And those are usually the people who I work with.
Okay. Yeah. The people who really care about what they're doing, where it's not just the dollars.
Right.
Now, on a personal note, tell me what your biggest failure was, whether it's personal or business.
Yeah, I would say getting divorced, not because, I mean, it, I say as a failure because I don't think anyone goes into getting married thinking, well, I can always get divorced. Like you're not, that
Yeah.
wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan. That being said, of course, there was lots of lemonade made, but yeah, I would say that was a tricky part.
And I realized I should have added the follow-up to that question is, what was your biggest insight from that? And how have you used that to create success?
Well, to be honest, Rennie, if I hadn't have got divorced, I don't know if I'd even be with this business right now because you look back far enough, you see all the dominoes are just lined up perfectly, but you don't know it yet. That separation prompted me to take a deeper look at my own personal beliefs and default habits, and I started to really shift internally, like what I wanted in a relationship and who I was going to be in a relationship. And that ultimately led me to working for the company I ended up taking workshops with, which taught me about how to speak. I would go out and speak all the time and teach people about mindset because I had that, that deep calling to speak just like my clients do. And it was really fulfilling, so much so that I do that all the time now and created my own company around it. So yay, yay for failure.
Yeah. Congratulations on the divorce.
Yeah, thanks. and my ex and I are really good friends and we're great co-partners with our parenting. And I'm already remarried. I'm celebrating my 10-year anniversary with my second husband in a couple weeks.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
So, it worked out. I ask that question often to my guests, and I'm almost always getting, well, here's what I learned from that, and whether you want to call it a failure or a challenge or whatever. And it always enhances their future lives. So thank you, Leisa. Now, getting back to the business stuff, what benefit, goal, objective, or what outcome do people seem to achieve out of working with you or, taking your material?
I think it's that they have hope and they have confidence and they realize that they can do this for the rest of their career, meaning speaking for the rest of their career and actually attract their clients. I think when they come to me, oftentimes they're suffering from some form of speaker's kryptonite. That's what I call it, where like I have one client who she was a former accountant, turned life coach, was like, okay, I'm not doing this accounting anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. And so she started speaking to accounting organizations. And when she and I first talked, she was about ready to throw in the towel because she was like, this isn't working. Like I'm giving incredible content, but no one's signing up for my thing. It's not moving the needle in my business. I think I should maybe give up. So luckily she didn't give up. Yay. Because what happened is that we started working together. I was able to really take a look at what she had already been doing, see some of the holes in the boat because we can't see we can't see the label from inside the bottle. That's why we have coaches. That's why people look at stuff for us. And we made some tweaks. Her content was good, but yeah, she had a few big holes in the boat and that was missing how to have that call to action that feels really clear and clean, how to be confident about that. Too much information, not too much information. Like, where do we find that balance? And the very next time she gave her talk to the same group, different people, but same organization.
Same kind of people in the audience.
Yeah. She emailed me and she's like, I got more engagement than I've ever gotten in any presentation ever. And she goes, who knew that accountants would have that much, liveliness? And they booked calls with her. And all of a sudden she was like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I can do this again and again and again. And it actually moves the needle on our business. And she speaks now all over the country.
Okay. That's the kind of transition or transformation I like to hear about. Now, for the people who are listening, do you have some valuable free resource that will further support people who may be interested in this?
Absolutely. Always got something in my pocket for you, Rennie. And for those of you who are like, I think I might want to take a look at speaking, that sounds like something that I would love to do. I have 5 top tips to get more speaking gigs now. And that is available at getspeakinggigsnow.com/tips. And I think it's going to be in the show notes as well. But
yes, and it will be in the show notes. You're absolutely right. And now I'm going to guess there may be a question I should have asked you that would give some great value. And I hinted at this when I read your introduction, like what's the number one way to get a steady stream of speaking referrals? What's the answer to that? Is it the tip sheet?
Well, there's some tips in there, but actually it's a totally different tip. So you're getting like a extra bonus tip.
I like
here's what I learned a long time ago is that when I first started speaking, I booked 83 speaking engagements that first year. That's a lot. That's a way more than most people do, and way more than most people think is possible. Now, that was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, not going to lie. Okay. And it wasn't the funnest experience in my life to do it all on my own. So about halfway through that process, I started a networking group of just for speakers. It's now called the International Speaker Network, because just like most things, it's a lot more fun when you hang around other people who are doing the same thing you're doing. And what I found is that when you find a couple of key speaking referral partners, something I call a speaker soulmate, all of a sudden, you're eliminating your cold calling. You're eliminating those Google searches that go nowhere and spending hours on admin tasks that you don't want to do. So I haven't cold called for speaking in like 9 years. And I align myself with other people, hang out with other speakers. We have our meeting every month. And I encourage all the members to find their own speaker soulmate so that they can have a more prosperous speaking bookings in their calendar.
That makes so much sense. In other words, it's the same way if I'm going to a dentist and I need a referral to another dentist, he will know other dentists.
Or she.
Yes.
That's right.
And thank you for making me correct or inclusive.
I knew what you meant.
Inclusive, that's the word I'm looking for. Leisa, I want to thank you so much for being on the Wealth on Any Income podcast.
Thank you. It was so fun to spend this time with you.
Thank you. And for all of those who are listening, if you'd like to know how books, movies, and society programs you to be poor and what the cure is, then log on to wealthonanyincome.com/TEDx. You'll hear my TEDx talk and can request a free 9-step roadmap to complete financial choice and philanthropy, and receive a weekly email with tips, techniques, or inspiration around your business or your money. And if you'd like to see how you can increase your wealth and donate to the causes that touch your heart, please check out our affordable program, Wealth with Purpose. To my listeners, thank you for tuning in. You can listen to the Wealth on Any Income podcast on your favorite platform, and please rate, review, and subscribe. Until next time, be prosperous. Bye-bye for now.